Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Roundtable Sports. This is your AFC North Roundtable. I'm your host, Tony Dow. Tonight, Z-Bot cannot make it. He just wanted to wish everybody a great week of football this week. Hoping that all teams have a victory if they don't play each other, but we shall see. But we're going to get into it. Listen, man, we got the usual suspects backstage right now ready to come in and rip each other's heads off. A lot of trash talking happening backstage, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to get into it. It looks like this is going to be a real fun one tonight. But before we do, we want you to know that this stream is being powered by BetUS. Take advantage of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. Again, that is code YouTube150. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. If you're looking for a new sportsbook, BetUS is where you want to be. And the odds are up for this week's games. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football playing the Cleveland Browns. It is about to go down. We're going to be talking about that in a few days as well. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications so you never miss a show here at the AFC North Roundtable. All right. Also, within the division, we have a few more matchups, I believe. Let's see. Where are my guys at here? Is that it? Is everybody else on a bye or something here? No, Baltimore, there they go on Monday Night Football. They're playing the Chargers, another big one, ladies and gentlemen. It is very interesting how all of this is supposed to be going down this week. So we got the Browns, we got Baltimore covered, we got the Steelers covered, and where let me see, who am I missing here? The Bengals, right? Are the Bengals the team that's on the bye this week? Oh, okay. So they escape another loss. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, it is time to bring in your AFC North Roundtable host. Listen, man, we're going to start out at the bottom of the division. This guy needs no intro. Y'all know he reps his team. He has that logo like a heart on his chest. Chef Zay in the house. Browns, what's going on, man? Y'all gonna get a win soon?
Go Cavs. Go Cavs, baby. 15-1. You already know the vibes, baby.
Wow, man. Even they started a losing streak. All right, but we'll see.
This dude taking shot. Hey, where's Z-Bot at? Hey, Z, man, where you at, man?
Z-Bot told me to take shots. All right. No,
okay, we gonna have something for Z when he come back.
All right, man. But hey, that's what's up, man. I got a lot of questions for you as well. But let's move on to the second worst team, I guess. I was about to say best and be totally wrong. Second worst team in the division, Zim with the Cincinnati Bengals, the team that know how to put points up but can't stop other people from scoring. What up, man?
Hey, bro, I swear. I don't want no smoke with you flippers. Like, chill out.
Wow.
We just tried to. Hey, look, you little flips. I don't want no smoke with you guys. I'm down bad, as you told me backstage. I've had a lot of losses this year. I didn't know that I was gonna walk into this, Tony. What are we doing?
Hey, listen, man. We here to have some fun, baby. The people want to see it. They want to talk it. And listen, man. At the end of the day, we just got to respect the two top dogs in the division. Right now, y'all down.
No, we don't.
Man. Y'all
no,
down
we don't.
bad. Oh, well, hey, let's bring in second place in the AFC South. Samuel and Joku representing the Ravens. What's up, man?
Feeling pretty good, actually, all things considered. So, it's not a race, it's a marathon, and whoever ends the season in the first place is the top dog.
Not a race, but a marathon, but I can see that finish line now. So things got to happen real soon because it is heating up. But listen, man, we got to give the utmost respect. I know Chef Zay say, no, we don't. But hey, man, we got a top dog in the division. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know about many people, but I never saw this one coming. But this top dog is out here impressing everybody. They just mopping the floor with everybody. They taking care of business. They're leaving no prisoners, man. Shout out to Mark with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's up, man?
Mate, who do we need to beat? Hey?
You ain't play nobody, bro.
We haven't played nobody yet.
We beat the Ravens. Come on now, there ain't nobody.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking forward to this, guys.
Also, has that been the narrative? They haven't played anybody?
Oh, for the last 8 weeks.
Narrative.
Yeah,
Sam started that narrative now.
We got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson going at it up top for the past few weeks, man.
If Samuel if his list is cut in half, or it's it's down to a notepad or something, like his list was so massive, you're gonna beat all these teams, and here we go. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy, man. Shout out to Sean, who just dropped some love on the channel, showing support to his favorite creators right here. He said, who have Steelers beaten? Man, oh man. I mean, are we really doing that now? Are we really doing that? All right, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I just feel like that's a bigger disrespect to the Ravens, man. Samuel, they figure you're nobody, your team, man. How you feel about that?
They throwing shots because I made mention that, the Steelers haven't played anybody, but they have played somebody. So congratulations, Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys won.
You've been pushing the goalposts back for weeks. First of all, it's Commanders. Now it's the Ravens. Now it's like, it's wait until it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Like, to be fair, I wasn't knocking the Commanders. I just said they didn't look good against the Commanders. They look worse against the Ravens. I mean, let's be real. It was 6 field goals. We're not playing soccer, or we were playing, actual football.
Yeah, but the best part is about that. I knew it was going to come out. I'm ready for this one. I'm
just saying.
Is the 6 field goals is if you don't like that and it's not a good game for that, you lost to that. You can't win. You can't win either way. You lost to 6 field goals.
This is the worst the Ravens will ever look, though. The worst the Ravens will ever look.
You scored 2 Ds. With the 6 field goals, you still lose to that. Chris Boswell is in NFL history has now got in 3 games 6 field goals. That's NFL history. You can't knock that. He's not Chris Tucker. Justin Tucker's out there missing field goals like it's like nothing. Slicing like
washed. Yeah. Tell him, Mark, washed.
Wow,
looking pretty bad. Field goal too.
Well, listen, we got a lot to get into. We're about to get into it. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you punch that like button. Show your love and support to your favorite creators right here on the screen, right here on the AFC North Roundtable. And subscribe if you are new. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in, man. We just want to get a quick recap because a lot of things happening around the league. I'm going to start with Chef Zay. Is there anything that we need to know with the Browns as far as the injury report? Anybody coming back? Anybody just went, got hurt? Anything we need to know?
I mean, I don't know how big of a news Jedrick Wills is to people. They made another business decision. They're keeping him out this week for his knee. He had a flare up. So, I mean, that's probably the only thing. Other JOK, there were swirling little things out there talking about potentially his career maybe being in jeopardy, but none of that being concrete yet. So, other than that, we ready to see if Black Friday coming early. Right. There was I don't know how much merit it was, but Mary Kay had this brief report and then they asked about it. And then they said, well, he's got 2 more weeks left on the IR. We'll address it there. So you know how rumors, one thing goes and the next thing starts to swirl. So that will be the big thing that we'll be watching for is JOK, obviously.
Interesting. What about you, Timothy? Who talked to me, man? Is anything going on with the Bengals on the injury front?
From the injury report, our starting cornerback, our other one, if anyone saw the Chargers game, he broke his collarbone, so he's out for the rest of the season. So we're now without our CB1 and our CB2. Sheldon Rankins had a wild illness that they haven't even said what it is, but he was like damn near hospitalized or whatever, and I think he just got out. Can't really think of anything else. I think everybody else is like pretty good to go for the most part. Orlando Brown Jr. was hurt this past week. He didn't play. So in the Chargers game, but I think the bye week, coming out of the bye week, is the hope is that he's back.
Man, CB1 and CB2 out. Man, tough.
Dax Hill and DJ Turner out for the season.
Man, might be an upgrade. But let's go to Samuel here with the Ravens. Anything on the injury report?
Roquan Smith was dealing with a hamstring injury. He didn't practice in their makeshift Wednesday practice. They play on Monday night, so this practice didn't count. But I'd be surprised if he plays on Monday. Who else? Kyle Hamilton, he was injured last week, but still wound up playing. He practiced fully. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone else too serious. Travis Jones, our pass rushing D tackle, he was banged up a little bit, re-injured that ankle, so he was not available for practice. I think he might be a go, but he's touch and go. He's probably a game time decision on Monday.
All right, talk to me, Mark. What we got in Steelers Nation?
Yeah, so Alex Highsmith is out for this game. I think he'll be back in like a week or two, what it may be. So Herbig will be filling in him again, but he's doing a great job, Herbig, alongside TJ Watt. And also injury front, I think Corey Trice has been ruled out too. So he's trying to come back from the IR. So that's really the only, besides, bumps and bruises along the way, that's really the only big two injuries I can see from the Steelers. They're getting players back healthy for this gauntlet we're facing at the moment, which we're 2-2.
All right, man. Listen, we getting some love in the chat right now. Shout out to Joey, said, I'll take 5 safeties to beat the Ravens. Man,
that's fair.
John Walker, Steelers 5 wins versus teams with winning records, most in NFL. Just saying, Njoku, you should feel embarrassed. Number 1 offense losing to a kicker. Be ready. Sweet threats.
Oh God, no.
Sweet threats. Oh,
but
man.
I get it. Enjoy, Steelers fans. Enjoy this moment. This is your Super Bowl. You guys have won one.
So we're the same version of either.
All right.
I learned a lot about Sam in the last 3-4 weeks of the show. Like I never knew. Like Sam is such a nice guy.
I'll fake this.
You know what happened? He just hadn't played the Steelers yet, and then the real camp. And I think even the Ravens fans, I think in the comments they're like, man, why is he so cool with like the Bengals and the Browns and stuff? Man, Sam has really stepped up there. You sound like my whole entire childhood hating the Steelers, bro. Like
that happens though when you lose them 8 times in a row, 8 out of 10 times. That happens.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers own the Ravens. I think if you're a Ravens fan, it's harsh to hear, but losing 8 out of 9 times, the Steelers own us. But the Steelers don't own any postseason success. The Steelers don't own the end zone, apparently, because they can't get there against the Ravens. And the Steelers own the worst QBR rating in Week 11, belonging to Russell Wilson. So, on all that.
You lost to that.
And we did lose to that, but we will never play as bad as we did on Sunday. Just accept that and get ready for December 21st. I can't wait. Christmas is going to come early. I expect a 3-touchdown win. Can't wait.
Ooh, tough, man. All right, man. Listen, let's segment into what I like to call the quarterback corner, where we get the updates on every quarterback in the division. I got to start with Chef Zay here. I don't even want to talk about the quarterback you got playing right now. What's the plan for the future in Deshaun Watson?
Oh, you going there? We going down that path?
Why not? I mean, your season over. We might well start the off season now. So what's the future?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the future is. The future is he'll be on our roster. Let's start there. I think a lot of people want the experiment to be done. I think everyone has a feeling that the experiment is done. But when you're paying the amount of money that you're paying for a guy, they're not just going to dish that off unless something is coming out. They've always been they've been like keeping that door open as well. So I think the Deshaun Watson fiasco continues in the next season. Now, how much of I don't know. I guess what game will we be playing? Will he be starting? Will he be playing for a number 1 position? Will he usher it back in? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows yet. But right now, as it stands, Deshaun Watson will be wearing number 4 as a Cleveland Brown next year.
Interesting, man. All right, man. Let's go over to Zim, man. Joe Burrow. What does this guy have to do? I mean, at the end of the day, how do you feel as a fan knowing that he's out there doing his job and the team not there to support him? And how do you feel about him right now? He's going to be making big bucks, and it's going to be harder to keep the team intact around him making those kind of dollars.
I think that his contract itself, I know that comes up a lot, I guess, with us, but his contract itself is pretty favorable in terms of cap hits and stuff like that. It's more so the front office being reluctant to make guarantees to like players, and you've seen some franchises like Steelers and Packers are kind of like in that same mode where you just don't give out high guarantees. But when you get a Burrow-like figure on your team, you got to make shit happen. And right now, currently, the Bengals, I think, are about to make Jamar Chase the highest paid wide receiver this upcoming all season. But aside from that, it's up to them to make sure that they do other things like on the roster to make sure that they give them a confident roster. But right now, I think he's showing them if you ever are cheap with us again and try to stopgap us with Sheldon Rankins level players instead of just putting them with DJ Readers, and if you let our running back go that everybody said was washed, these are the things that could happen to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Bengals fans are wow. I spent the last 8 years of my life arguing about how good Joe Mixon was, and then to watch him like just go to the Texans and do this, it's insane. And they're like delusional. Tough. They're delusional to say like the success that he's having right now. He's like on pace to being all pro. They're like, yeah, I mean, we're getting the same production from somebody else on the team. I'm like, bro, he's like literally one of the best running backs in football. Are y'all still saying that? They don't understand when they lose talent. Like if they were to lose a T. Higgins or something like that, it'll be worse. And they're angry. Like, why is everybody keep on talking about Joe Mixon? I'm like, you idiots. Like everybody's watching this dude leave and be really, really good. If T. Higgins were to do the same thing, you're really going to be mad. So that's where we're at, like, in terms of that. But in terms of, like, playing football, Joe Burrow leading the National Football League in touchdowns, yards, QBR, doing his thing, and all these great things. Jamar Chase on pace for a Triple Crown. Trey Hendrickson on pace for being the sack leader. I've heard people say that he couldn't be Defensive Player of the Year, but I do remember other guys in our division winning the Defensive Player of the Year, and they only won like 7-9 games and stuff like that. So that has happened before. He's leading the league in sacks, and he should be recognized as that, but I don't know why they act weird about him. But Bengals are chasing that. But along with that, there are some circumstances where I feel like they can still get into the playoffs.
Interesting. Samuel, talk to me. Lamar Jackson. A lot of talk. Something that people are talking about is he's so great, but then he has those one-off games where he doesn't look like a star, man. How are you feeling about Lamar and people that have those sentiments about him?
I mean, it's really hard to fight the notion, right? I mean, he struggles against the Steelers, struggles against the Chiefs. I mean, and I mentioned it on my show, Steelers and Chiefs are two teams and I'm not afraid of the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens like to be bullies, and the Steelers and Chiefs are okay with facing bullies, and they'll punch you in the mouth, and then let's see how you respond. So the Ravens offense, especially, they didn't respond very well. You didn't see the fire that you saw from the Steelers defense. So I think the Ravens play very tight in those situations, and Lamar feeds off that tightness and actually is nervous about making the play, nervous about running the ball when he should instead of throwing it. So that's something that he's going to have to get off his back. It's something else in his tool belt that he needs to extinguish along with winning the Super Bowl. But I think he gets it done. I'm not too worried about Lamar. He's been very, absent in social media. He's really been quiet. So I think this loss really got to him. So hopefully he feeds into that as the remaining 6 games gets ahead. But I'm not really too concerned with Lamar. I just know that, when those games come and, you're going to face these top tier teams in the postseason, he needs to switch it up and get his A game going. So
can I ask you one thing? You were talking about the fire and everything right there. One thing that I noticed in y'all game, and I guess y'all probably talk about this. Did you notice that the difference in the defense when Roquan went out?
Oh yeah. The run defense suffered immensely. He's the guy that usually gets the calls in the field, so they're definitely scrambling in certain situations when he wasn't there. I think they gave the green dot to Kyle Hamilton at the end, but yeah, that second level of the defense, those linebackers definitely struggled. Malik Harrison took his spot, and he hasn't been known to be that great of a run defender. So I expect the run defense to take a hit with Roquan's absence. Hopefully he comes back sooner, but yeah, I definitely noticed it right away. I think the Steelers took the opportunity and pounced on him with those Justin Fields off-tackle runs, and even having Najee Harris go up the middle. Yeah, they're definitely struggling without him.
Interesting. All right, let's move it over to Mark real quick with the Steelers, man. A lot of people, they loving what Russ is bringing to the team right now overall. Say Russ back to cooking, getting to doing enough to help the team win games and be the best team in the AFC North right now. How you feeling about Russ and his play overall?
Pretty good. Like, obviously, the game versus the Ravens wasn't the best for Russ. I think it was like 50% or 55% of what it may be. But he made some key throws in key times and checked down to Najee and Warren. They got first downs. That was his first AFC North football game, but it wasn't the best game from Russ. But he has been pretty good. Like, he's improved the offense, getting them from 20 points a game to 26. Connecting with George Pickens has been awesome. The one catch to Mike Williams in the Commanders game. Don't know why they didn't use him too much in the Steelers versus Ravens, but they're playing Ben Skoranek and those guys who were blocking. But overall, like, Russell Wilson's been awesome on the field and off the field. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, he takes out his whole offense every Thursday. Maybe not tomorrow night because they're playing the Browns, but every Thursday, the whole offense, he pays for them all, including practice squad guys, and pays them for meals and dinner. So they're building the brotherhood on the field and off the field. And all Russell Wilson's got to do is just not turn the ball over. It was a silly pass to Darnell. Shouldn't have been thrown. Even Mike Tomlin said that. But he's doing good enough to get the job done, and that defense can handle the rest. So I'm pretty happy with it. And now, as Sam said, Justin Fields had 2 snaps, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens with this 2 quarterbacks and see if they can use him in the run game. And don't forget he can pass too. A lot of defense is going to say, is he just there to run the ball? He might go in there for a play action pass and give Russell Wilson a break. And I think Russell Wilson has taken the Steelers and him and Mike Tomlin, their relationship is really, really awesome. He's forgotten about Denver. He remembers Seattle. He remembers what he had with Seattle, and now he's building something special, and hopefully he can finish his career with the Steelers. But I think he's doing awesome. Like, he's 4-0, and Mike Tomlin made the choice to go from, and I said it here weeks ago, they're always going to go with Wilson. Fields is always stepping in, and Wilson's now 4-0, and can he go on the stretch to win more games and go to the playoffs? So I think he's doing good. Maybe not great, but he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, that was bold of him. But I was listening to some chatter today, and someone suggested with the compelling argument that Russell Wilson is the second best quarterback in the division right now. What's your thoughts on that?
Blasphemy.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on, Mark. Here, I had 3 guys look like, what is wrong?
Don't do it, Mark. Don't fall for it's a trap.
Hey, Mark, is there anything there? Second best?
Well, I'd say if you're just basing on quarterback play alone, probably not. But in terms of winning, I find this, and I know Zim's going to say something very, very shortly, and I don't mean to poke too many rods here, but I find it funny with the Bengals and how they're doing all this success, but they just dead set can't win. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have all these yards, all these TDs, and we've got Russell Wilson doing half of that and still winning games, but that's a team mentality. But in terms of a pure quarterback sense, yeah, it's probably still Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson.
Mark, where's your defense ranked in the National Football League?
2 or 3 or something like that.
So
hold on. So you have Joe Burrow ahead of Lamar Jackson, Mark?
I don't think it really matters where I put him, to be honest, because either way I'm going to offend someone. So I was just trying to see what's going on, right?
I got in trouble actually last week. I said Joe Burrow was the best quarterback, and Ravens fans
Ravens fans went after you. Your Ravens fans went right after you for that.
That's not a crazy thing to say, I don't think. But if somebody, the difference is, I'm a Bengals fan. If somebody told me Lamar's better, I'm not arguing with it. Like, it is what it is. Like, if you feel like
I just find it strange though that a lot of media heads are saying, and no offense to you, Zim, a lot of media heads are saying the Bengals are like one of the best teams to not be in the playoffs.
They are.
They're not the playoffs because they're losing games though. You know what I mean? Like, go and win games. Finish the games.
My question though, the Steelers are like, the money is there where you're paying for a TJ Watt. You have an Alex Highsmith. You have a Minkus Fitzpatrick. You don't even probably know like 2 people in the Bengals defense right now. Like, we're not winning games. It isn't on the strength of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's leading the National Football League in yards, touchdowns, QBR, whatever category you got for me. So the reason why we aren't winning, Joe Burrow, look, you didn't even score a touchdown. Joe Burrow threw for 900 yards on the Ravens in 2 games. And
that's what I'm saying. I find this stuff really funny because we didn't score a touchdown and we still beat the Ravens, but you scored 9 touchdowns and didn't beat them. So I find the media angle on this of like offense wins championships, all this kind of crap. I don't think it does. I think team mentality. I think the Steelers, and this is why every time I go to the NFL media and Good Morning Football, they always talk about all the Ravens stuffed up, the Ravens did this. They never give credit to the Steelers for actually winning the game and playing good defense and forcing 3 turnovers. It wasn't the fact that Steelers forced 3 turnovers. It was the fact that Ravens, we didn't play good enough. You know what I mean? So in terms of the quarterback debate, I will say Russell Wilson is probably 3, or 4, depending with Winston, because Winston can go off here and there, right? So he's probably a 3. But in a quarterback sense, yeah, it's probably Joe Burrow, Jackson, then Wilson. But in that sense, too, you're scoring 9 TDs, doing all these fancy things, and the team's still 4-7. You want a team that can win football games? Steelers are doing that in all phases: teams, defense, and offense.
Man, interesting. Chef Zay.
Can I say if Tua was in the division, he would definitely be 4th, but continue.
Whoa.
Off the left rope.
Jesus Christ. I mean, low key, he's not wrong, which is kind of nuts to say, but I get why. I'm just shut up.
See, this is the AFC North Roundtable. I want to go here right now, but I'm good. I'm good. Chef Zay, don't be laughing because Tua will be ahead of any one of your quarterbacks, but that's all right.
We'll see y'all in a couple weeks, so I need you to be. I need you to be.
You said that like. You believe y'all got a chance to win or something like
you think y'all got a chance? If it's, I just can't wait because if we lose, I'm infiltrating the AFC East roundtable like I'm the Kool-Aid man with Browns gear on.
What's the temperature in that game?
It's probably going. Well, shoot, the way it's been now, it's like July and November right now. It's nice over here.
No, it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop.
It's gonna be cold though.
It's gonna drop like in the
30s. Yeah. Tell Tua to have his concussion helmet on, all that good stuff. L pass,
you know what?
All that good stuff. You know.
I'm not gonna focus on the Dolphins, but I will say this: I am actually shocked that a Cleveland Browns fan has anything else to say. I'm proud of you, bro.
You got the right one. I'm Neo
for sure.
I'm Neo. You got the right one.
Oh man. Oh, you know what? I'll be back. I'll be back in a few weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all, Z-Bot will be back, but I will be back just to see Chef Zay because it's gonna be very interesting. Because we all know what's really gonna happen. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to y'all situation right now. All right. So it's good to hear about the quarterback watch in the division. But man, we had some big time games this weekend that we need to get into. Yeah, we definitely got to get into this. Well, hey, why not start with Chef Zay? Listen, it looks like the Saints versus the Browns had a square off this weekend. 35-14, ladies and gentlemen, was the final score in that game. All right. So we're gonna start out with Samuel Njoku. Talk to us, bro. What were your thoughts of that game and your major takeaways?
I thought the Browns were going to win that game. I think I picked them to win. The Saints, they're streaky. They can go off like that. It's just unfortunate for the Browns. Another loss. I don't know. I feel bad for Browns fans, honestly, because next to the Bills, probably the most passionate fan base, year in and year out, regardless of the outcome in football. So you want to root for them. You want to see them succeed outside the division, of course. But it's just tough for the Browns. I think they're looking ahead to 2025, and I said the two teams that are probably the most in trouble in terms of longevity in this league moving forward for the next 3 years are the Browns and the Jets. Those two teams are in cap space hell. They got to find a way to deal with their quarterback situation. So I don't know. I feel bad for the Browns, but yeah, I thought the Browns had what it takes to win because Jameis Winston back in New Orleans, but not to be.
What about you, Mark? Your takeaways in this one?
Yeah, I only saw bits of highlights one too, but I did see that Taysom Hill had a crazy game. Like that's insane what he did. He got like 50 reception yards. I know he threw a pass here and there. Got 3 TDs. I took the Browns too. I thought the Browns defense could have handled the Saints. You know what I mean? I don't think Derek Carr is anything that too special. But like Sam said, they are very streaky like that. Like they win the first 2 games, they lose a ton. They win this one 35-14. And they essentially now they end the Browns season where there could have been a chance if some people fell over. Because the AFC wild card number 7 is going to be, it's going to be a fight, right? I don't know. I don't know. I think now the Browns really are playing spoiler mode against the Steelers, but in that locker room, and do the players, all turn up 100%? If it's 3rd and 14 and they're losing by 10 points, do they really want to go after it? We'll see. But I thought that was crazy what Taysom Hill did, just running over him, and 200 yards is something insane. So the Browns really got to push that one aside, and you got tomorrow night as well. But I thought the Browns would have had that with their defense, but I was wrong. Man,
oh man. Zim, talk to us. Your take?
I was watching this game for fantasy football purposes. I have Alvin Kamara, and I think the guy was going up against he had somebody. I think he had Elijah Moore or something like that. But I was watching some of this game. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I wanted to ask Chef Zay this. even I don't really have an overall thought. I also on the show I did pick the Browns to win this game like by a very narrow margin. But I guess one thing I was looking at just from the box score, I was like, Myles Garrett didn't register anything. Tackles, sacks, nothing. I don't know if I've ever seen like Myles Garrett not register anything. I don't know if it's like he's checked out or what's going on. And also, how do you throw for 400 yards and then lose 35-14? Like that's the, like I'm watching Red Zone, I'm seeing the plays, but I'm not seeing the sequence of like, how does that even happen? You know what I mean? So I don't really have like a major thought, I guess.
Man, I didn't even realize they threw for 400. Interesting.
Me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. 395, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Wow. And it only scored 14.
Only scored 14. How does that happen?
It's the Browns.
They gave up. They gave up.
When I saw Chubb too, he's gradually looking a little bit better than what he had,
Someone pointed it out. If you watch him run, like I saw it when I was editing up my clip today, and I'm like, oh my God, they are right. His strides are shorter. You see him taking, like Chubb used to have this explosive step, and he used to just, I don't remember what run it was. I think it was that left run on the, like near midfield on the left side. You could see him take those short, choppy steps, and I'm like, oh my God, we witnessing it, y'all, right before our very eyes. But
it might be early though. Remember Dobbins came back like that though. Remember how Dobbins was running when he came back off his injury and he had that little weird little limp to him.
I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. It's not the Nick. It's definitely not the Nick Chubb. It's not, and you can see that, and it sucks.
Wow. Interesting times. All right, Chef Zay, but the overall breakdown of the loss, talk to us, how you feel, and what happened in that game, man.
Well, before I get into that, I think it's interesting how, Mark talked about Russ doing the dinner thing with his teammates. And it's funny because a player that's in Buffalo right now just came out and pretty much was saying the same thing about how the camaraderie of the team and these guys are outside kicking it all the time and all of this stuff. And I'm just thinking back, and it's like you got that 1 year with Deshaun Watson, and that was the first year that he got here. And you think about the camaraderie of the team last year with Joe Flacco and stuff, and it's just like, maybe there's something to this quarterback and this leadership thing. So the Steelers are on every right trajectory that they need to be on. And if you got that going on, I wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs. But now, back to this game. They gave up. This was a team that gave up. And it's weird to say that because every time I've come on this show, I said the one thing that I'll hold on to is his defense. And Joe Woods was on the field. It just so happened to be that he was on the New Orleans Saints side. And I don't know if they had PTSD or what, but Taysom Hill was getting wide open lanes to run for 80 yards at will. Alvin Kamara was averaging about 8 to 9 yards a pop on every first down carry that he had. Guys were not getting touched until the second. There ain't even a third level in football, but there was a third level for this guy because that was when he was getting touched. It was just like, you got all of this stuff going for you. Like you said, 400 yards, no turnovers. We create 2 turnovers, and we still lose by 21. Oh, that's all signs of a team giving up in my eyes. So I think everyone's pretty much checked out. However, it's weird playing this game because we got so much AFC North football. And on my podcast that I do with my buddy, we were talking about it today. And I think there's a few guys on this team that will take this game a different type of way, being Njoku, Miles, and Nick Chubb for personal reasons. So I think that'll be the only thing that us Browns fans can really hold our hat on this week, other than it is AFC North football, and pretty much just go out here and have fun in the Muni Lot because there ain't much to look forward to. I can tell you that.
Man, oh man, tough times, man. But hey, here's what I will. I am very curious about Chef Zay. Is this the time to try to draft one of those top quarterbacks to sit behind maybe Deshaun for a year?
Everybody wants to draft a quarterback this year, but I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to not want to do it this year. And the only one that I want the package deal. I either want Travis Hunter or I want Shador and Dion. The only way that I'll take Shador is if I get Dion. I think it takes a certain type of moxie, a certain type of guy. Do I think Shador has it? Yeah, but I think Cleveland would swallow him whole and spit him out and then eat him again like they do every quarterback. So if you can give me Dion with him, do it. But I think they got a lot more other things that they need to do. The staple, which has been the offensive line for so long, is no longer a staple. They need to go ahead and get themselves some more offensive linemen, and they need to go ahead and look for this future because it looks like it's a business operation up here in Cleveland right now. They got their sights set on 2028, and this offseason will dictate that a lot. So I'm expecting to trade down, honestly, to accumulate a little bit of assets, maybe get one of those quarterback hungry teams to give us another first round pick for next year. And then we talk about that there. But as far as the quarterbacks go, I'm cool on Cam. I'm cool on Ewers. I'm cool on all these guys. These guys aren't going to come in here and change the franchise around in one season.
Interesting. A lot of people talking about those top quarterbacks, but you got a good point, man. That Travis Hunter pick is going to be huge for whoever's able to land them. All right, let's get into some of the super chats. There's quite a few people showing some love to you guys right now. John Walker says, Super Bowl, Sam, we've been doing this to you on the regular. We're just waiting for you to get through the stages of denial.
That's actually pretty awesome. I like that comment, actually.
Sean says, Steelers 6 Super Bowl wins, Ravens 2.
Oh, brother. You guys were an organization when my grandfather was born, so what are you talking about? Of course you got 6 Super Bowls. Like, come on.
And say Steelers have no postseason success? Wow. Hey, man, are you delusional? Sean, I want to know if you're delusional.
I'm a little. I might be a little delusional because I'm looking at the film like, Steelers defense did look kind of good, but I just don't think that offense is sustainable. I think that offense crumbles in the postseason, but that defense was looking kind of nice, especially Patrick Queen, who I've seen play now for like 5-6 years now. Didn't look nothing like that. This was Patrick Queen's Super Bowl. I will not deny that. That boy looked like Ray Lewis mixed with Lawrence Taylor out there. So yeah, shout out to the Steelers defense, but again, that offense has to show me a little bit more.
I've interviewed a good amount of, players around in front of us. I once interviewed a player that went against the Ravens a lot, right? And Bengals fans don't talk about. Somebody made a comment about Roquan, and this is 2022. His comment to me, he said, Roquan isn't the guy that you need to be worried about. It's Patrick Queen. This is the guy that got tackled by both of them. And he said that, and everybody in the chat was like, are you serious? Like, Roquan's way better. He was like, I'm telling you, as a person that gets tackled by both of them, he thought that Patrick Queen, and at the time, that was a hot take. He looks really good, man.
He did. I mean, PFF grade-wise, he's one of the worst-ranked linebackers in the league. But I will say he's played a lot better recently. The last 2 games, he's played good. And this game, of course, being his best game.
Yeah, he had an extra pep in his step.
Yeah, he was. Whoo. I mean, he blocked me on Twitter because I was definitely getting on there. The Ravens lost him, but
Sam getting blocked.
I get blocked by a lot of Ravens players.
Really?
I got blocked by him before he went to Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, because I tell the truth.
I
took a picture with Marlon one time, and he blocked me, and I've never even said nothing about him.
Oh, that's crazy. Marlon usually doesn't block people, but I got blocked. I mean, Ravens fans,
No,
you guys
Marlon didn't block me. He blocked me.
Oh, Patrick?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Patrick is a softie.
Just because I identified as a Bengal fan.
Oh yeah, Patrick. He's soft. He's Charmin soft. So he's definitely going to block you. No doubt about it. I'm not surprised by that at all.
Well, John Walker said one last point. Steelers and Ravens both have 3 playoff wins in the last 10 years. What have y'all done while we've been on a 7-year break? All love, Sam.
AFC Championship run, plenty of division titles, plenty of MVP awards for our quarterback. What have the Steelers done besides lose to the
Browns? Yeah, talk that.
What are we
Can
talking
I say
about?
how crazy that is, though, to
That
me
is
to hear
nuts.
you rattle that off, and the Bengals have done way more than
Hey, you already know I get.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
the bias in the comments and all these different people that always be like, what have the Bengals done? For to hear you say that brings joy to my heart. I will say that.
I think here's what it is. They're the only ones that have been to the Super Bowl as of recent, like the Bengals, and a lot of people look at that as the standard.
But can I say that the Super Bowl team was nowhere near better than the season right after it? The 2022 season? Way better. Like, not even close. Like, the Bengals, I don't know. That's all I know.
I can't say anything good about the Bengals, or I get yelled at by Ravens fans. So I'll be quiet. You should see my DMs on Twitter. It's crazy.
Sean said, "Are Browns tanking for Shedeur?" I think we just kind of talked about that one. We can move on to the next game of the week. I think it's important for us to get into this Bengals-Chargers game. The Chargers defeat the Bengals 34-27. Justin Herbert showing that he's a better quarterback. But let's get into it. Let's start out with Chef Zay.
Hey, Z, where you at, bro? What this dude, man? I'm not even a Bengals fan, Zim, and you got come on, man. What this man talking about, bro?
Because I'm at 4-7. I feel like my hands tied behind the right. He met me at the right time. You met me at the perfect time in life. I'll tell you that.
Oh, Zim would have been. Yeah, you would have been here at week 1 and 2. Zim would have been on your ace for real.
Damn it,
I'm talking, but listen, Chargers beat the Bengals 34-27. Talk to me, Chef Zay. What was your takeaways in that game?
My takeaways, I should have never put my money on you Bengal putty cats, man. God damn. Man, you know what make me so sick is I'm sitting here laying in bed and I'm like, oh yeah, under 61.5, that's free. And the Bengals plus 170, oh, this free because Joe Burrow about to come back and score. I'm like, oh yeah, let me sign up for this. And then I'm playing the thing. I'm like, okay, well, McPherson can't make this kick, so he got to miss this one. And I'm like, he missed it. So let's go. I'm like, go ahead, Bengals, get the stop, and we gonna dub back. So then when McPherson get up there again, I'm just like, oh, we good. This easy money in the bag. Bengals will get a stop, kneel it out, and this will be game. Y'all so sorry. Yeah, because y'all sorrier than us for that. Because I should have known that there was something in the air and that the Bengals weren't going to pull it out because all the kickers were missing kicks this week. Every single last one of these kickers was selling games and Vegas making the call. So I should have knew right then and there that the Chargers was going to pull it out. And I'm still just sitting here confused on what the hell is y'all doing to my man Joey B down there? Because there ain't no way y'all should be sitting at 4-7 right now. And money talks, man. Like, if I'm Joe Burrow and I know I got my contract and stuff, but am I looking ahead to like, is this an organization that I want to play for the rest of my career with? Like, I mean, y'all being stingy with the bread, y'all being stingy with the players that we clearly had something going. Why we ain't keeping this together, man? Come on, man. That's all I'm saying. I ain't got too many thoughts in that. Y'all got to do better. I'll still give them a little sliver of hope because Joe Burrow is a maniac, and if anybody gonna string off some wins, it's gonna be him.
Man, Chef Zay sound like you trying to trade Watson for Burrow.
Bring him over here, baby. I'm Joe Breezy.
Oh man, Sam, talk to me, man. What were your thoughts on that matchup?
I love that game. That game was one of the funner games of the week. I thought that the Chargers ranked 9th in pass defense entering into that game, and Joe Burrow was still able to have his way. So I keep trying to tell Ravens fans, and I'm not supposed to talk good about the Bengals, but that offense is great. That defense is awful. Trey Hendrickson, bright spot. Geno Stone, I love him as a Raven, but he's I don't even know what's going on with him. I think he's looking like a completely different player. But we talked about it before the show. I think the Bengals they got a chance to make the postseason now. They're not completely out of the woods yet, but man, I feel bad for Joe Burrow. I think I saw some social media clips of him with head down, just walking, doing everything he can to try and win the game. But, great for the Ravens because we don't have to play him most likely, but, sucks for Bengals fans.
Man, oh man, talk to me, Mark.
I don't feel bad at all for Joe Burrow or the Bengals. I can't stand them. So, and look, they're a 4-7 team. And like I said to Zim before, I know they're getting all the TDs and all these things and offense and all this kind of stuff, right? But in a team perspective, they're losing games and they should be winning the one-score games. But the Chargers, they charge it. Like, they almost messed this game up. They're up by 20 points, 18 points, whatever it may be. But they're not. But then the Bengals came back and I was like, oh my goodness, because I had one of my multis on again, and dude, it was almost gone. Like it was so. I could have cashed out, and if I cashed out, I would have made like less than $60 for like $1,000 bet. Like, I'll hang on to it because I by 18 points. They came back, and I was shitting my pants. I was like, man, what is happening? Like I'm gonna lose everything. But then you saw Herbert throw a pass to Lad McConkey. By the way, great name in the NFL. That was awesome. Went down the field, and the rest was kind of history, right? So, although I don't know why he ran the touchdown in there, I thought he should have kneeled first, and then not give him Burrow a chance. But it is what it is. I think the Bengals are still hanging on just somehow, some way, because everyone's fighting for that 7th seed. Denver, Miami, Colts are in there, Bengals are in there. So and I know around the corner is Hard Knocks, and this is the right time if the Bengals want to go on a run. And yeah, there will be a crazy team in the playoffs to verse for sure. They're putting up a lot of points. So I don't want to see them in the playoffs in that sense. I want to see them in the regular season and end them so they can't get in. But if they go to the playoffs and this team's on fire and they turn things around, they're a talented team. They really are. So it's good to see these losses now for a 4-17, but they're hanging on just by a thread. And every week I've picked them to be 50-50, and that's how the games always go, 50-50.
Wow. There was a graphic going around, Zim, I don't know if you saw it. I think I tweeted it out or I made a video on it where if the one possession games went the other way, you know who'd be the best team in the league right now? Your Cincinnati Bengals. Your Cincinnati Bengals would be the best team in the league right now.
And the Chiefs are like 2-8.
Last, the worst they be with us.
Chiefs are booty. I keep trying to tell y'all.
Man, oh man. The crazy thing is, the Chargers were the number one defense, only allowing 13 points a game coming into that. And Bengals still were able to put up points on them when it was all said and done. Zim, it's on you. Talk to us. Educate us, man. What is going on in Cincinnati, especially in that game?
I get on this show every single week and I sound like a broken record. I've just talked about how the Bengals just don't play complimentary football. I don't think that it had to be the best defense in the entire world. I was just like, if it's just middle of the pack, but the run defense is actually okay. I mean, there's some teams that have gotten over 100 yards or whatever, but their rushers, we kind of get get the best of those, a lot of those teams or whatever. And a lot of these games that we've lost, it's just failing to play complimentary football, in my opinion. Our kicker in this game was the one, it's always something. But just going over Evan McPherson. Lost to the Chiefs 26-25, he missed the extra point. Lost to the Commanders 38-33, missed a field goal. Could have went up 13-3 versus the Eagles. He missed a field goal then. Lost to the Ravens, missed a game-winning field goal 41-38. Missed 2 field goals to take the lead in the Chargers game 34-27.
But kicking doesn't matter, Sam?
Who said kicking doesn't matter
at all?
I'll take it.
Oh, he said that. Sam said that.
Yeah, I did.
Boswell's been kicking ass. I'm scared to death of Boswell.
Here's what's interesting to me. You mean to tell me you wake up this morning, the kicker's still on the roster?
The Bengals fan base, our team is we try to be, and as much as I hope they don't clip this, I feel like the front office tries to be like the Steelers, and they try to be like the Ravens with like longevity and stuff. So like our coaches and stuff, they keep them around for a very long time. They keep like Marvin Lewis, they tried to do what they're doing with Tomlin, right? And the kicker, whether it was the quarterback with Andy Dalton, yeah, we went to the playoffs, but we should have been moved on from it. And they do that. And so on our run in 2021, Evan McPherson was really, really damn good. And in the back of their minds, there's just like the equity that's built up in that, let's still give him a chance. Me, I'm from a different city. I didn't watch them run Joe Gibbs out of town after winning the Super Bowl like that. Like I'm in DC. Like there's a no tolerance policy for none of this stuff.
Yeah, because even with longevity, a kicker shouldn't be allowed to blow a season. And no, it's not all him, but he had the power in his control.
See, me outlining those parts is I was just really just going back, and I think a lot of Bengals fans forget this when they just blame the defense. I feel like Joe Burrow put us in some spots in a lot of those games to go go get the kick, go win the game. And there are other things too. The defense sometimes, there's even Joe Burrow missing some throws at the end of some of those games. So everybody's had their hand in it. And so I think that the coaching staff looks at it the same way and says, well, it's not just Evan. In my mind, I have another dude kicking the following day, worst case scenario. I don't care if we keep him or not. Mind you, we just signed this dude to an extension this past year. I mean, the past offseason. Evan McPherson this season is next with Justin Tucker right now, actually, is the third worst kicker in the National Football League, kicking at a 71% clip or whatever, which is not sustainable in the National Football League.
He got to be next to Dustin Hopkins, right? Because
Hopkins is worse.
Yeah.
Hey, Zim, can I make a comment? What about the teams you're playing, though? Because, look, no offense, but the Bengals haven't beaten. They talk about us not beating anyone yet, and we're 8-2. And the Bengals really haven't beaten anyone yet, right? They're facing harder competition and losing.
Absolutely. You play, who's scheduled, but the Chargers coming into there, Sam, I think, pointed out, I think they were the 9th best defense, but they were the number 1 scoring defense in all of football. And they hadn't allowed anybody to go over 13 points. If you go look at the games or whatever, Joe Burrow sliced them the hell up. So, that's not a flex. We lost. But if you're talking about, defensive teams, that's one of the better defensive teams in football.
I like to look at the Bengals as that your favorite phone charger, man. Like, if you get that thing the right way, it's going to charge the hell out your phone. But it's just something wrong with it You know what I mean? Like, it's just sometimes like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I just don't get it. You work. I know you work because you just charged my phone 2 minutes ago. But for some damn reason, 4 out of the 11 times, y'all just, I feel bad. Zim, I know I feel bad for myself, but damn, if I was number one, I would be losing my mind on social media if I had your situation.
I think it's more like from a viewership portion. Think about it. All these primetime games that the Bengals been in, they're all instant classics. These Commanders, these are all big time. This is the probably the most. It got to be the most entertaining team for everybody else except me. And in my mind, it's kind of like ice cream and shit. Like you should go get you some protein, go get you a balanced meal. But yet we just keep on getting this fucking ice cream, but it melts every single damn time because we're holding on to something, whether that's the coach, whether it's whatever, holding on to it too long, and ice cream gonna melt eventually. Even though you're a fat ass, shouldn't be eating ice cream every day. You should go get you some damn greens. You know what I mean? And I don't think we have greens up front with the trenches, and I don't think they got enough on the back end with the defensive, the cornerbacks, and all these different things. And I'll be here all day telling you about what the Bengals don't have. But,
well, you know, organic stuff is a little bit more expensive than the processed food, so that explains the cheapness down there in
I feel like
Kentucky.
I've been coming to y'all food truck for the last 40 years, and y'all still selling up the same bullshit that we've been, feeding.
At least it's quality. We at least we pay for quality.
It's just too much fat. And then you talk about you want Dion to come out there to fucking make that a diabolical situation.
Hey, money talk. Dion, we got a lot of it.
They split right in the middle. Have y'all seen Colorado fans or how they view him every week? They hate watching him for one.
Which ones hate? Come on. Let's not play. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm not here.
You know what he did to Colorado? He set that thing out like a college party. Like
he's coming to Cincy. That was my next.
Y'all don't even have enough to clip his non-toenail. He ain't even got no toenails, and y'all ain't got enough to clip it.
We can sell some more TVs, my brother. And I got a couple of 70-inch TVs. I got some TVs in here. We could sell.
$70 ain't enough, man.
Man, oh man. Listen, man, we got one more game to get into. We're going to get ready to dive into it. Before we do, Sean is still talking. He said the Chargers charging wasn't enough to lose to the Bengals bungling. Wow.
Damn. I like that. It was good wordplay. Can they charge up this upcoming week?
Because the Chargers did charger, and y'all still didn't take advantage of that. So it's tough. John Walker here said, crazy stats. Steelers 2-0 in games without scoring a touchdown. Rest of the NFL 2-18. Only Tomlin gets that done.
Frauds.
Been telling y'all about Tomlin, man.
Yeah, Tomlin's my favorite coach. I keep telling you, he's my.
He can win coach of the year.
All of our favorite coaches.
Yeah, he's good.
He's respectable.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Tomlin,
it's so funny you guys say that, and my Steel fans, like 25% hate him.
Yeah.
I'm over. I'm so over. I love him. I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for his speech in 5, 15, 20 years when he retires.
Make sure you come see me. I'm an hour down the road. I'll come see you.
All right, let's get into that big juggernaut game this weekend. The Steelers defeat the Baltimore Ravens 18-16. I know we talked a lot about it in mentions, but let's get into it. I want to start out. I'm going to save the two-game hosts for last. Let's start with Zimmy. Talk to me, brother. What's going on with this one? What did you see? What did you take away from it?
It's a lot of what I've seen. I've talked about, from the Ravens. I believe that their offense is legit. I still believe that their offense is super legit. But I've come on the show, I asked Sam about the defense, and I've asked him about different questions throughout, because when it gets to the nitty-gritty and we start talking that playoff football or whatever, I know that the competition changes. And the Steelers coming into this game proved to me that prior to this game, I said that's a playoff-looking team right there. And the defenses get tighter, and you got matchups that sometimes don't work in your favor. And I know you guys' history, Mark, what is it, 8 out of the last 9 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 8-1.
Yeah, 8-1.
That will be having somebody's number. And so now you don't have a favorable matchup. I know how we played them early in that game. If you're a Bengals fan, you're saying, bro, we was up 21-7 on them. Give them a short field. You miss a tackle. Like, I don't really think that their offense is that crazy as everybody thinks. And when they went up against a real knuckle-up, smash you in your chin type of defense, I thought their offense looked very different. I thought a lot of those different things that they're relying on, like the screen games and all these different small little plays or whatever, like that turn into big plays, I think the Steelers was like, yeah, do that. Like, we don't care. And I think that was the first time the whole entire season, outside of the Chiefs game, there's bits and pieces, even though Lamar got off on him. I thought the linebacker speed was important in that game. I thought my boy, and see, shout out to Wolfpack, Logan. Peyton. I said Logan. But Peyton, Wolfpack. I thought a lot of the linebacker speed and the different things that they did to enforce their will, it was evident up front that the Ravens push that they normally get in the run game, whatever, it just wasn't there the same. It was a lot of different things that they've been killing teams and pounding on people up front. They weren't able to do that. And when they didn't do that, I didn't think that they converted over to a finesse team. And you got to be able to say, okay, all right, I can't beat you up front. All right, let's air this thing out. My wide receiver now, mind you, they've been telling me all this time they don't have weapons. But this is the first year. Now, Deontay Johnson as a number 3 wide receiver, that's weapons. And I don't see the tight window throws in tight moments. Lamar can hit anybody, and his deep game has been cooking this year. But I thought, like, sometimes when those games get like that, you gotta be able to hit those intermediates, and that's a big functionality of playoff football. And I thought he failed to do that throughout the game. And I just thought the Steelers just made him like they simplified the game, and they made it like that. And when Roquan went out, the Steelers said, "Oh yeah, we running this damn ball," and that was very evident when that happened too. So it is what it is. It was a really good game. I watched the whole game, and I know that isn't a high-scoring game, but I also thought maybe not instant classic, but that is a brand of football that I do enjoy.
It's an AFC North classic. AFC North classic.
Yeah.
AFC North Clark. Them Dolphins and Bills and shit, they don't know shit about that. That's real North.
Sorry ass Bill. Bills ain't been in a classic game since they blew out Denver.
Well, I agree with that. But leave the Dolphins alone. But Chef Zay, talk to us. What's the takeaway from that game?
I'm gonna sound like a broken record too. What did I say? What do I say every time when it comes to these damn Steelers?
3 points.
Don't let them be underdogs. What are we doing making Mike Tomlin underdogs at home? Like, this is just stop. Just like the whole Lamar Jackson is 22-1 against the NFC. Just stop making the Steelers underdogs at home. I don't give a damn if they going up against David and Goliath together. You just favor them by a point, please, okay? But I think the other thing that I sound like a broken record is I just think the league needs to they need to go back to the drawing board and be like, what has the football always been based around, right? Like, you obviously need your quarterback, you need your offensive line and stuff, but if you can control the run game, and every single week I look at this damn box score and I just see how even keeled that Pittsburgh is playing. It's always like a 50-50 run game, pass game. And I think all these teams have been gearing themselves to go towards the pass, that they're just not really focusing on this run. And we keep seeing the comments in the chat. They can't stop the run, can't stop the run. If you can run in this league, you put yourself in such a favorable position. And I think the Steelers are doing the best of both worlds. And you mix that with the defense, man, they've got the recipe to make this thing. I hate saying it, but they got some real noise to make in this playoffs because they've got every tool in the toolbox. And the most important ones you need, your quarterback, your defense, and your coach. And 2 out of the 3 are elite. And Russell Wilson is borderline at that end of his tail. So he's still got a Super Bowl. Hats off to Pittsburgh. You guys suck.
All right, Sam, talk to us, man. What were your takeaways in this loss, and where are you guys headed after this one?
Well, you got to emphasize loss. Jeez. I think if this was 2003, I'd say the Steelers were the best team in the league. They can run the football. They could stop the run. You know, they got a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. My only concern with the Steelers have always been, can their quarterback get it done in the shootout? Mm-hmm. And I just don't think that's the case right now. But again, I'll reiterate it. The Steelers own the Ravens. I mean, and I know why the Steelers own the Ravens, because the Ravens are not mentally tough enough in those critical situations. I think, look at the stats. You say the Ravens are being stopped by the run. The Steelers stop the Ravens with the run game. Derrick Henry averaged 5 yards a carry. Justice Hill averaged 6.5 yards a carry. Lamar Jackson averaged over 11 yards a carry. The Ravens, when they get down, they get scared, especially against teams they know they can beat them. So when you see the Chiefs game, when you see the Steelers game, when the Steelers or Chiefs are up, the Ravens stopped running the football. They just abandoned the run and rely on Lamar Jackson to get it done with his arm or his legs. That's not a recipe against the Steelers. The Steelers are too good. They know the Ravens very well. So if you're a Ravens fan and you're thinking this is terrible loss, yeah, but you a field goal away from winning the football game. You are a couple of turnovers away from possibly turning it around. So I think if you're a Ravens fan, take solace in the fact that the pass defense has improved dramatically. They moved Kyle Hamilton from that big nickel spot, slot corner spot, to full-time safety. Mark Williams only had one snap. They shipped off Eddie Jackson. Darius Washington now is the full-time strong safety back there. So they're switching things around. They benched Brandon Stevens in the end of the fourth quarter and put in Trey White, who looked pretty good against George Pickens. So if you're thinking maybe this is the turning point for the defense, I would say probably so, but we'll see. And to Zim's point, I think the offense is just still very good. I think the Steelers had their number this game, but overall, I would not be too concerned with the offense as long as they don't play a team that's not afraid to punch them in the mouth, which is what happened with the Pittsburgh Steelers game. So as long as the Ravens don't play the Steelers or the Chiefs in the postseason, I'm feeling pretty good about it. That likelihood isn't very likely, so we'll see what the mentality is like. But overall, I'm not too concerned. I'm very impressed by the defense, which gives me a little bit of happiness. Otherwise, from the Steelers beating this pretty handily in Pittsburgh, which absolutely sucks.
So you're admitting you need an easy path to get a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. I think mentally wise, yes. I think the Ravens fans are expecting this to be like last year. The Ravens ran through the league last year. They didn't really face a opponent the likes of which we've seen until the Chiefs game, the AFC Championship game, and you saw the way it kind of flipped. So this year, a lot of teams are good.
You saw me, but you broke my quarterback.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, we did. We did go back and forth with you guys in the second time, and then we broke your wrist. So it was a little bit of that as well.
So you'd be okay with that? Oh, my fault, Zim.
Yeah, I think the mental toughness can change, and I think this will be the turning point. So I know if Ravens fans think I'm being pretty picky about the Ravens right now. No, I think this is a great time to lose to the Steelers because I think they're going to flip that switch and be that mentally tough team. And I think the next time they play the Steelers and the next time they play the Chiefs, they'll be mentally ready and it'll be more of an X's and O's game. But I think this is the game where you don't want this to happen in the AFC Championship game. You want it to happen in week 11 so you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, are we going to be a Super Bowl team or are we going to be a playoff team? So I'm very happy as a Ravens fan that we lost this game because I think it's going to pay huge dividends on our road to a third Lombardi trophy, which I think the Ravens are destined to get.
I think it could be a bit of a confidence killer. But I did want to say this to you, though. You said that you didn't know if they could survive a shootout. You're going to find out in 2 weeks because I'm a C-Mark.
Oh, yeah. I'm picking the Bengals. Don't worry. I'm picking the Bengals. I don't think the Steelers can match up one-on-one with the Bengals, but that's just me. They could prove me wrong. They proved me wrong already twice now. But
I do think you make a great point though with saying that this is the best time for you guys to lose because if you think about it, man, it's coming into that December football. What better motivation do you need? I mean, Lamar looked pissed after this game, and the last time he looked pissed was in that Marlon Humphrey clip, and we saw what they did the next 4 games. So you may have something there with perfect timing.
Yeah, no knock on the Steelers too. I still think they're one of the better teams in the league now. They've proven it to me with that win, but I will watch out for the Ravens. They look like a pissed football team right now.
Thank goodness we have Sam's blessing. Thank you.
You need it. God damn it.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, go ahead and close it out on this game. What were your takeaways with this victory?
My takeaways from what these guys are saying is like, they're proving and this kind of things. And 8 weeks in a row, most people count them out. And we keep doing what we're doing is winning football games, right?
I picked you guys to win.
Yeah, I think Zim did too. But in that sense, like the game was a Steelers versus Ravens rivalry game, and we do have Lamar's number, and I was said it before. But our defense was awesome. Like Peyton Wilson got that interception. You got Patrick Queen going off. Now I give a lot of credit because the Ravens are a good football side, and it does come down to 2 points, 1 point, whatever it may be, field goals. It doesn't matter. I was really perplexed though in some things like why they didn't run Derrick Henry in certain parts. In the 2 point conversion, I was like, why didn't you use Derrick Henry? They used a weird gadget play they'd used against the Bengals, which had worked. Mike Tomlin caught a timeout. They did the same thing again. Nick Herbig off the edge came down, tried to sack him. He raced out to the left-hand side. Then Joey Porter Jr. Knocked him over. And that was the 2 points right there. So there could have been overtime, 100%. Like it would have been absolutely crazy, right? Because we allowed that last TD from Dante Jackson one-on-one, and you zip the ball into whoever the receiver was, right? So the Ravens are a good side, but I said they were a good side going into this, and it was an AFC North rival matchup. We're just at the point, though, where I think the media and some of the fans are like, oh, who are the Steelers beating, yada, yada, yada. The Steelers are a good football side. I just think what the big hex is, and everyone comes back to it, even Sam said at the very start, I'm pretty sure you did, was that you haven't won a playoff game in 7 years. And until we get rid of that point, then these wins, from an outside perspective, it doesn't really feel like it's a win. But being at week 11 and controlling the division 8-2, it's a fantastic win for our program going into tomorrow's game versus the Browns. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great getting the job done and taking care of Lamar Jackson and forcing it. TJ Watt sacked him out of bounds and things like that. Our defense helped us win this game, and Chris Boswell is automatic and crazy. And yeah, we got some help from Tucker. It would have been nicer to have some more points when Tucker missed 2 field goals and a turnover, and we only had 6. For sure, would have been nicer to have more points and put it on them. But overall, from a Steelers perspective, it was a good win to move to 8-2, and I'm pretty confident about this team. Now, are we a Super Bowl team? Yeah and no, but we're still week 11. That's what I care about.
Interesting. Well, listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the top of the division. The Ravens still have something to say about it. And at the end of the day, the Bengals are going to make a last-ditch effort. And
then the Browns win 8 in a row, and we go into the playoffs, baby.
Let's go. Oh, man. Hey, listen. Hey, I'm here for it. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of the AFC North Roundtable. Again, I'm your host, Tony Dow, joined by the usual suspects up here. Thank you for those who donated to the channel. Thank you for those who hit that like button. And remember, the stream was powered by BetUS. Don't forget to take advantage of that 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. Supporting the sponsor is supporting the channel. Check us out. 2 days from now on Friday, we'll be dropping the preview video, okay, of this week's matchups within the AFC North. Make sure you come through. It should be a good one. We're going to get our picks in. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Chef Zay, any last words?
Here we go, brownies. Here we go.
What?
Well,
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, Zim. Your last word.
What are we doing here? We got brownies barking at 2 and 8 from the basement. Get out of here.
Hey, no, this is the office. This is where it all started. Relax.
They playing upset.
You see championships up there on the wall, something that Cincinnati don't know nothing about. You see it? 2016. Put some respect on it.
Championships.
The Cleveland Cavs.
The Cavs. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It's gone.
All right, man. Sam, talk to me. Any last words?
Ravens fans, it's not a race. It's a marathon. We still got this. Get to the dance. Do what we do best. Third Lombardi trophy on the way. Trust me.
Third Lombardi on the way. Zim, last words?
I got nothing for you guys, man. I appreciate everybody checking out the show. Please make sure y'all subscribe. Please make sure you tell somebody, send a link to somebody else or whatever, because without you all, we do not have a show or viewership. So I appreciate y'all sticking with us. And appreciate Bengal fans still sticking with us, even at 4-7. Still rocking with me. I need help. If you're trying to kill me in the comments. Thank you.
Man, oh man. Mark, talk to us. Close it out for us.
Tomorrow night's Steelers versus Browns is not a trap game for the Steelers. It's AFC North football. I expect a pretty solid game, to be honest. Like, it really, this should be, I don't know if you guys have this saying in America, hammer and tongs. I don't know if is that a thing over there? No.
Nah, bro.
No, throw that in the multi jar.
The hammer and tongs above the rest, all right, mate? It should be really good. It should be solid.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. And like Zim said, subscribe to the channel. Let's make this the best show on YouTube. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Peace. We are out.